Welcome to Angela Jane Presents. It's me in the studio, and I come to you as an artist. Welcome to the show. So far I've done 15 shows, had in-studio audience. I've been part of interviewing on another show, and well, everyone has their own show, so but I got inspired by the show, and so I brought a prop. There's just one feeling missing, and I figure I'll end up illustrating the feeling and putting it right here. But I was lucky enough to be on a show. Okay, ready to do artwork? I'm an artist. Go over here, because I'm in studio and I'm surrounded by the cameras. Here we go. You don't see the dark Short Circuit. It's from a movie, old movie, Short Circuit. Better than the Terminator. Let's see, today, art. I'm a cartoonist. It's been a while since I've done cartoons. So I'm going to sketch out and show you how I start out with my storyboards and everything, but any ideas? I love to hear ideas. Let's start out with a cartoon. So what do is I'll just kind of doodle. This is how I think. I'll just start kind of doodling, right? And as I think, I go, okay, I need a character. I'm not sure what kind of character, but I need a character. When you don't have friends, you draw your own friends. But since I like going out into the woods and camping and taking photos and everything, now I didn't quite do that right, so I'm just kind of touch base and doodling. Now I notice that kind of looks a little bit like a porcupine or a hedgehog. Get a little leg in there. There we go. But then again, it also looks a little bit like an opossum. A possum is good. There we go. There's an opossum. We'll call it an opossum. So I start out with characters. And of course, possums have teeth. And do one teeth. And you got those big naked ears that kind of look like little gremlin ears. And a little bit of fur. So this is going to be one of my first characters. Now, since I was starting out as a porcupine, but now I'll kind of make it an opossum tail. A little bit, kind of like a snake. So see, I just kind of doodle and sketch as I think of, okay, what kind of characters am I going to have in my comic book that help tell stories? So we're a little opossum. Probably spelled that wrong, but I think this is going to be one of my characters. Now, when you make stories, and you gotta have several characters. So there's one, an opossum. So animals and critters. Haven't got a name for him yet, so I'll set him aside. Now a second character. Got an opossum. Because who else is going to be in my story? Let's see, we got an opossum. Kind of need a bird, but what kind of bird? What kind of bird should I have in there? Can't really think of too much of a bird. You can always have a frog. Lots of people use frogs. Or would a toad be better? There is a story on toad, but frogs are kind of cool. I kind of like frogs. So it's kind of like do a frog. Now, as far as personalities go, again, haven't thought of names yet. Actually, still just kind of sketching out how the frog goes. This is to give an idea as sketches. I'll get more detail when I actually do the comic. Well, frogs have webs, so definitely don't forget the webs. So there is a detail to biology here too. Of course, he looks a little out of it. Thing is what kind of frog? I'm gonna make a handsome frog or a not so handsome frog. Now, the most handsome frog definitely is Kermit. Actually, it kind of looks like a puppy dog. So maybe I'm thinking the frog will actually be like a pet. Possum, he does. He looks a little bit more like a pet. So we'll go frog. So see, I'm creating a little mascots in a way, a little comic strip, starting with the characters. So we got a frog and an opossum. Might as well have friends. So pretty much the theme of this is, now I've got a couple of characters there, even though one looks like a puppy dog, so we'll need another friend in there. So subject. The start of my book, or comic book, it's all about adventures. And that's pretty much adventures in life. Adventures in life. And what are some of the adventures in life? And it's like first time meeting. Remember when you first met your best friend? Some people seem to know their best friends, some don't until it's like, oh wow, never would have thought of it. How many years or decades later? Okay, first time meeting. So that in itself is a definite adventure. Considering you have too many different characters that you would never even think they would get along. Along again with today I'm feeling this way. So got a possum, frog. They're going to go on an adventure, or they'll have to meet first before the adventure. And that in itself is an adventure. Now this is where I think I'm like, adventures. How do you match up a frog and an opossum? Because a possum might eat the frog. That's when it's like, storyline. But you want them to be best friends. Now I say you, meaning me as writing the book, is I'd like to read the book to where they are best friends. And how do they become best friends? So this is brainstorming up ideas. Because yeah, I don't want my frog getting eaten. I'm going to have to deal with the opossum's attitude, because he already looks like he has an attitude. So to counter him, or balance, it would be more balancing out. Because you got the underwater, you got the land. What other characters are there? Don't really want to put a bird in this one. You do have one character. I do have one character, Bobby the Worm. Bobby the Worm and Dave the Red-tailed Hawk, they're fishing buddies. They're in another cartoon. It's kind of like the superheroes, how they meet all in one comic book. Kind of like the frog. Well, Well, since the possum looks male, let's put the sexes on them now. We'll go over to possum. And he is male. Frog? Not sure. Frog is still kind of out of it. I'm not sure. Not sure yet what to make frog. But possum is definitely male. So that means they have to throw a female in there too. So what animal character? See, these can be night critters. Oh, you gotta put a female in there. Might as well put a little critter in there. Well, everybody does that, a ladybug. But what else is red? What has red in it? Anyone think of anything? Red. Red is a good ladybug. Do like ladybugs. Of course, this is just a little sketch. Of course, that looks like a cockroach, so that's not working. So maybe we'll put a cockroach in. There you go. Cockroach. We're definitely going to have the cockroach female. Haven't thought of a name yet, though. But definitely, that's going to be another best friend, yeah. Because I'm a part of the lady riders here. There's got to be at least one cockroach. And then, of course, my number one guy who goes fishing is Bobby the worm. Stories will come. It's just getting the characters together. And yes, Bobby has stick figure hands and stuff. Worms don't really have that, but Bobby the worm does. And he's taking a break from Dave the red-tailed hawk. So another water bug. I think I have a couple buddies here. Need another beetle. Cockroach is a beetle. Yeah, having a couple of beetles in there. And what are the water bugs? The ones with a big water bugs are cool too. You got a frog, so if you got a frog, so we're kind of getting a quite eclectic of friends here to do stories on, and yeah. Still haven't thought of that, but an opossum, so he's going to be like a gentle giant to these guys. I think that'd be kind of cool. Still haven't picked a name for him yet. Nothing's popping up. The water bug, she's going to be female too. Female. And Bobby the worm is always male. And frog. Then there's just frog. Frog's definitely lovable. There's a personality. Now we'll throw personalities. Lovable. And a possum. He's the backup. He's going to be the backup friend. Not so much backup as a backup friend, but backup. You know he's got your back. He's got your back. There we go. And of course he smiles. With a smile, you got a toothy grin. Toothy grin. So now these words kind of help out with personalities. So when I do go really to make this up a little bit more detailed, and I'll do each step of the way so you can see how this goes. Just like the frog, lovable, just plain simple. So I'm getting something here. Bobby does like to go fishing, so he likes to go fishing. Fish. And the cockroach, smart and shy. Smart and shy. So see, words and pictures, kind of thinking this out, is basically imagination coming from the brain. Some people think this way, everybody thinks a different way. For me, it actually takes kind of sketching out pictures. And how I learned over the years through the different schools I've been to. We'll put the water bug as athletic, swimmer, and very athletic. Like a dancer. Okay, dancer. There's the dancer. So I guess in a way, the cockroach smart and shy. So that's kind of like a bookworm. Even though she's not a worm. So I'll put like a bookworm. And that's an old term meaning someone who goes to the library and reads a lot. That's actually kind of cool. So there's some sketches to come up with a story in a comic book, which depending on how I do the illustrations could also be a coloring book. This one's definitely going to be a hopper. Hopper. There you go. Put a little farm equipment in there too. There's your John Deere green. And there's your steady. So you got 5 characters here now. And part of the story brings out, as we go through the storyline, we'll bring out the characters and who they are in different situations. And challenges. So kind of like life, basically, adventures. First time meeting. So in a way, doing a book, I start out with Frog. Can't really think of how he meets everybody. He or she. Frog could be he or a she. And actually, I will put that down. Frog could be either he or she. Could be he or she. Now I'll just put that down. Because Just plain old lovable. John Deere tractor. No, hopper. No, a John Deere hopper. Harvest season. Oh, gosh. That's kind of cool. That kind of reminds me of my dog. So these, because Bobby definitely would be the first to meet. So, first time meeting. So, who would be the first? It's like, which character should I go off of? Since Bobby has his own little comic strip already, I'll go ahead and Bobby will probably meet, I'd say, Bobby, and this is where I kind of do stick figures, meets the cockroach first. Don't have her name yet. So that's the first. And then Bobby will meet well, actually Bobby and see, Bobby's got his own name. So that's they meet first, which equals to their talking together, and then along comes the dancer, Waterbug. We'll call her Lady. We'll call her Lady. Definitely a lady. Thinking of Zsa Zsa, La Cucaracha. You got to think of musical terms to them too. And then meeting Lady. So here it looks like hieroglyphics, but it's more sketching out. So that's how they all can meet together. So I'm thinking these two meet separately together. So a possum and frog become buddies. Probably real fast. So possum, and hopper. Yeah, they kind of meet in the forest. Meet in forest. And Bobby and the two ladies meet at a lake or a pond. Well, meet by some water. Haven't determined which water yet. Bobby's looking for a fishing hole. Looking for a fishing hole. For a new fishing hole. There you go. And then meet cockroach. No name yet. I want to call her Cockroach. Got to think of a name for her. Like Sarah, but I'm not sure. Cockroach. What sounds like cockroach? Anyone think of a name? Smart and shy. And when do cockroaches come out? She's a cockroach, so we've got to be proud about that. They're definitely recyclers. This one's very smart and shy. So what would be a good name for her? And then Lady. Lady something, and Lady's a dancer. And then Bobby. Bobby the Worm. Pretty much Bobby. Bobby the Worm. Possum. Big toothy grin. I don't want to call him Bubba, because he's not a... Well, he's kind of like Bigfoot compared to the other ones. You see how just sketching out, and then it's like, probably have to put those away for now. I'm going to switch over to here. And so I'll probably have to put these away for a little bit, and then when I look at them again, I'll go, I got the name. Shoot. I like Hopper. Definitely like Hopper. I'm going to switch over here. And then you guys tell me what you think, because I'm going to leave this little episode right here. So looking for what's a good name for a frog who's lovable? He could be a she or a he, and definitely a hopper. I have a cockroach. She's female, she's smart and shy, and kind of like a bookworm. Likes to read. Then Bobby the Worm. He's definitely, he's fishing. He likes to go fishing. He's taking a break from his buddy Dave the Red-tailed Hawk. So he's kind of out on his own, making some new friends. And then Lady, not sure what's after that, but she's a water beetle. So that's water beetle. She's a dancer, swimmer, very athletic, and then Bobby the Worm. Bobby's already got a name, Bobby the Worm. Kind of like with those bobbins. Bob. And then he's got your back, he's got a toothy grin. And I am going to say give him a great big heart. A great big heart. Even though nobody, heart. Okay, heart. I think that's how you spell it. See, sketching's fun. You get to go through and then revise it. Possum. There's Possum. Kind of got the start of a first time meeting and how they all kind of meet together and get to know them as characters. So that's going to be the theme. So I'll continue this the next round. So, okay, that segment down.